Cascade trekker on the scene again. It is first week of September, and I'm back at Mount St. Helens, attempting to hike around the mountain on the Loowit trail. I've got some good information that there's water flowing and that the trail's marked. There have been washouts, and the last time I was here the mountain was dry. There was hardly any water up there, so I couldn't do it. I've got my motorcycle back in the woods, chained to a tree, all set and ready to go. Well, I've made it up out of the trees. It's only been 2.5 miles or so. Fairly decent climb. I'm up on the lava flow. And the trail just came out of the woods down there, and it's gonna cut across the lava. There's the trail. Mount St. Helens here. Really still and quiet. There's no breeze. We're dealing with a lot of haze from forest fires. Fire season here, 2011. Well, home sweet home. All set up there. I'm happy about it. The day is gonna end pretty darn quick, and I'll have a little bit of time to enjoy it here. Down lower you get a little flat area here where you've got some foliage, trees. Really weird. There's this looks like this dead moss, dried up dead moss. You hardly see any of it green. You wonder if it's still alive or not. Interspersed you've got, look at this, huckleberries right there, and they are ready to eat. Ripe. So one thing that you got to remember up here, where you're sort of relying on snow melt for your water, this could very well be dried up, non-existent tomorrow morning. So I'm going to stock up, and on this hike around Mount St. Helens I brought 3 water containers. Close to full moon. Next 3 nights. I'm so happy. Just my damn luck. I hate hornets. There's 2 hornets in my tent. And the deal is, if I piss them off, they're gonna have more. There'll be more here. Damn it. Damn. Sucks. I was trying to get one out, and another one came in. I'm up a bit early, not that early, and very warm up here. I don't think it got below 65 degrees last night, which is very strange. I've got about 8 miles to hike today. Guess I wanted to get up and do it before it got warm. I'll definitely need to do it tomorrow before that big push around the other side. Those hornets, they leave their scent. They leave a chemical scent when they're in danger, and they must have done that to the tent screen, because one hornet dive bombed the tent last night and one came by this morning. I'll have to wash that off when I get home. a bummer. Well, here's the morning view. It's not so hazy today, though I feel the wind is going to die down to nothing. The trail's here, but very easily can be lost in these boulders. I was above the trail. Kind of rough going sometimes when you're trying to balance a pack on your back and you're teetering on these boulders. Very easy to slip and hurt yourself. Pretty much you just look for kind of like a light dust color or covering on the rocks. See here, it just goes into the boulders, and so you can see it's a little lighter. There are posts to mark the trail in case you run astray. Back into a thicket of trees here, and it's 10 degrees cooler. This tree is some sort of pine tree that I've noticed here on this mountain with a really unique bark. I don't know, it might be a black pine, I don't think, but I'll have to look in the tree book when I get home. Yeah. This is Swift Creek. Probably better get some water here. Well, the trail took me up that tree-lined ridge pretty high. I've been climbing. Fortunately, it was in the shade. I'm getting a very hazy view of Mount Adams, and I could barely see the outline of Mount Hood. Good to know it's still there. This ridge is full of elk paths cutting across the side, and probably one of the last bits of kind of safe remaining habitat on this mountain. Here's a better look at those elk, about a dozen or so, up on the snow. Probably staying cool. It's pretty darn warm. Above 80 for sure. Man, I just got attacked by some big fat horseflies. They're big and nasty this time of year. Well, this is the climbing route up to the left of the butte, and that's Monitor Ridge. And my trail goes along through here, back into the lava flow. I don't think I have a whole lot more elevation to gain. Here's a stark contrast out here in this lava flow. You can see the trail came along this little ridge of rocks, and oddly enough, this is kind of exciting hiking through here. It's challenging. A lot of the trail again is just boulder hopping, kind of dangerous. Yeah, skirting around the mountain. This tree is incredible. Fabulous. and a couple skeletons higher up that they've survived here. This is really kind of incredible. Right down here are some wild strawberries. That one, I don't know, is that one nibbled? Little tiny ones, but they're so sweet. That was so sweet. Up here in this lava are wild strawberries. Here's a nice little clump. Yeah, and even if they're white, totally sweet. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful, fabulous strawberry flavor. There's another. There's another. Oh, there's a big one. The biggest one I found. Delicious. Look at that dust cloud up there. It's like a tornado, a little dust tornado. It's a genie. I grant you 3 wishes. Well, I think we're nearing Sheep Canyon, just over here. This was pretty nice through here. Nice and flat hiking. Couple little gullies, but wasn't that bad. So, 3 or 4 miles left today. It's still early. I think it's noon or 1. Short day today. Well, that's a beautiful sight there. 7 or 8 liters of fresh, non-silty water from a spring just over there in those trees. This is Sheep Valley, I believe, and I'm nearing the end of the day. My destination is around 2 miles, and I guess today I've hiked about 10 miles. I'm feeling it. We're getting into the blast zone here. You can see where the trees were just burned right off. Here's a really nice view. This is the beginning of the Toutle River Valley. Lots of boulders tumbling down constantly. You can hear them, and then you just have to look for the dust cloud. I'd really like to camp up here for the nighttime long distance view, but I've got about 2 miles to go down the ridge line here. I think the trail's over there on that far ridge wall, going back up to the right there and then back to the left. Well, this is the first real forest that I've hiked through. It's a totally old growth forest, and it's just below the top of the ridge on that boulder. In between here and there were fabulous huckleberries. Man, each plant tasted different, and they were fat and ripe and sweet. Just incredible. A little bit more down this ridge line. Oh, I'm gonna take a break. Okay, blinded by the light. This is the Toutle River Valley, and there's some folks down here that I'm gonna Show real quick. The place that you come down is right there. I have to go up that tomorrow. That looks nasty. Look at this stuff. It's like carpet. It's amazing. My feet aren't even getting dirty. Really, really hazy smoke morning. This wind didn't come through last night, and I can hardly see those ridge lines. And I have to hike around this mountain 12, 13, or more like 14 or 15 miles. There was a thin coating of particulate, this dust, everywhere in my tent. It sucks. There's something in my eye, I think. It's a messed up morning. Cooled off a little. There's a tiny, tiny breeze, but this is ugly. It's almost like there's a fire on the other side of that hill there. Well, here I am almost to the top of my climb of the morning, and this is a site here, this valley. The climb up out of that little creek valley was kind of rough. There were boulders that I had to grab onto and climb up, and if they would have broke loose, I would have been smashed. This is going to be a real test today, because this is rough. All this smoke, just incredible. This last stretch along the ridge line, the trail went right along the ridge, and all of the dust and smoke was blowing up over the top. But today will be a real test. This is about my morning pace. Trail's been really easy after I got out of the sand on the ridge. Had a few huckleberries along the way. Lots of elk tracks. I have to keep a good fast pace in the morning and early on in the day so I can cover some miles before it gets too hot. There's been a intermittent breeze, which has been nice. Probably lower 70s right now. Huckleberries right here. Look at, oh yeah. Give me these nice fat berries. Here's the first big valley that I have to cross, and looks like there's some snow melt. Trail goes down here and up there and across the way over there. Now here we've got these grasshoppers flying around, and I was thinking, well, what do these guys live on? And the fact is, they live on the elk poop. What we see down here is a large herd of elk. Right there. And over there. I could actually smell them a few times. And I was looking up higher, but they're actually down lower. I think that's Spirit Lake over there. Looks like almost half that lake is full of logs that were trees that were blown into the lake when this mountain blew some 30 years ago. And I guess I'm gonna hike through this mess. Haven't seen any water yet. High five.
Have a good hike.
High five. High five.
All right.
High five.
What a day. Thank you. Nice work going around the mountain.
High five. Well, I'm about halfway through the blast zone. This is where everything went when that volcano erupted. This is some really silty, muddy water. I've crossed two tiny water flows. I'm still drinking water from Sheep Valley. Pretty good on water. And pretty soon I think I'm going to climb up this ridge and go that way. And then that's the last, the home stretch after that for the day. I've been cruising pretty well. And this is Windy Ridge. That's Mount Margaret. That's Mount Venus. I forgot the name of that one. Well, looks like I got slipped up right there. Got water in my left boot, just a little past the ankle. It'll dry out. The worst case scenario is that it gets all wet in there and you start to get blisters. That's the first time I've fallen into the middle of the main stream. I was doing okay right there, and then I lost my balance right there. And now we're just about on top of Spirit Lake. Now that's a beautiful thing right there. Looks like it's just springing out right there. Probably some of the freshest water on this mountain other than Sheep Valley. So I guess I'll clean out all of my water containers. I knew there was water here. You can see the line of green. I still have a few miles to go. It's tempting to fill all the way up, but 7 or 8 liters sure is heavy. I might just do 4. Well, that's the last big push through this draw here, and then it's downhill. Well, this was interesting here. Trail's carved into the rock, and right there, if you fell, you wouldn't stop till you hit the bottom. Well, downhill, entering the plains of Abraham. You can see the trail going off through the left. I'm going to head over there. Well, this is more what a mountain should look like. If you can see through the haze and the sunlight. I'm right at the top of Ape Canyon, and this is some crazy stuff here. Last time I was here 2 years ago, this water wasn't running. We're getting back into some trees. It's been about 14 miles since I've seen trees. Well, I'm going to push on a little more. Well, I'm hurting for certain. I thought I would be able to camp just in this next little valley. The fact is, I'm probably going to have to go all the way to that lava there. Which doesn't look that far, but there's 3 gullies like this in between here and there. This is a nasty gully. I'll tell you, about 15.5 miles now. Well, there it is. And I do hear water. And I do know that I just soaked my feet in that ice cold water, and it felt great. There they are. Look at, they did all that work today and yesterday. I'll probably get some mean old cramps tonight. I haven't peed in 8 hours. I probably drank about 6-7 liters of water. I was surprised how little I used through that desert-like stretch. I will now be drinking Powerade, and I will probably take a salt tablet so that I don't get horrible cramps tonight. Well, I had a great night right there. Slept peacefully. Oh, look at that butterfly. So, today we're gonna just hike up onto this lava flow around the side, drop into the forest, back to June Lake, and then back to the motorcycle. Well, I've just come out of this little valley that I camped in. I was down there. The water's ceased probably last night, but we'll pick up again as the snow starts to melt. Over here, you can see the haze has greatly diminished. Forgot to mention, as I was on the other side of that knoll there yesterday, I found some goat hair, which I really didn't expect to see any traces of mountain goats up here. Well, I think June Lake is just before this butte here, and the trail winds down. Might go down there, goes through the forest, and I think it might even go up onto that second lava flow.